Hi there. For the next 6 minutes, I would like you to think real hard about what money is. We are all conditioned to believe that government-authorized paper cash is money. And we are also conditioned to think that these numbers on our bank's computer screen or monthly statement represent our government cash in the bank. And in the past, we were conditioned to think that gold and silver or coins issued by the emperor were money. While seemingly very different, these are all the same kind of money. In each of these cases, money is a thing in itself that comes from a source that isn't you. This surrenders control over you to the ones who either have the money or have the ability to create it. Our national currencies are created by our nation's central bank. The national currency is created to buy debt, usually the national taxpayer's debt. The numbers on a bank's computer can only be created by banks, and most of it is created as loans that we must pay back to the banks plus interest. As for gold and silver, they may have been created by supernova explosions galactic eons ago. Now they can only be obtained from within the earth. Thus all of these, however abundant or scarce, are single uniform commodities in finite supply. What I call for short the coin concept of money. In the coin concept of money, money is a quantity of something that can be used to store the value we have exchanged for it, whether that be our crop of potatoes or a week behind a desk. Later, we can exchange some quantity of our money for something we actually want. This is the most familiar concept of money today. It is constantly reinforced in our minds by news footage of national cash being printed. Historically, the coin concept was made necessary by long-distance trade. For most of our history, the only technology that existed for transferring value over long distances was a portable object of value. Many substances were tried, but for several reasons, gold and silver coins and bullion turned out to function best as these portable objects. But this coin concept of money is not the only concept of money. The other concept of money is a promise of something specific from someone specific. This money is a producer credit, redeemable for real goods and/or services from a specific producer, and so, in the past, the holder of such money needed to be within a reasonable distance of the producer to be able to collect. In this form of money, anyone can create as much credit to spend as they have demand for their product or service. The credit is defined in value by what it buys from the producer that issued it, and the credit is extinguished when the promised product or service is bought. Historically, this concept of money preceded the invention of coins and has been in constant use since at least the invention of numbers and writing. It is currently in use in customer reward programs like air miles, mutual credit alternative currencies like the LET system, and is expanding rapidly in global business-to-business barter networks. You might be surprised to know that right now, trade and producer credits reportedly accounts for at least 20% of world trade. How can we escape the current unsound money as a debt of itself system? The answer is to make these business-to-business barter credits global money that everyone can use. This would be money issued directly by the producers of the goods and services we want to buy with it. Doesn't this sound reasonable and appropriate? In Money is Debt 3, Evolution Beyond Money, I have presented my proposed blueprint for a self-balancing system based on such self-issued credit. Now, when the term self-issued credit is mentioned, quite often people's first thought is that they would be issuing their own credit as individuals. That is most certainly possible if you produce and sell something as an individual. But most of us do not produce anything ourselves. That means that we do not have the wherewithal to issue promises of something specific. Instead, many of us work in an enterprise employing many people. By accepting company credits as pay, the employees would be in effect self-issuing credit against their own future production as a group, through the company. In addition, most of us consume the products that big corporations produce, and we are required to pay taxes to governments. Therefore, in any system where money is a promise of something specific from someone specific, the most universal acceptance will naturally be given to the credit of governments who have the power to tax us, and to big corporations that make what we want to buy. However, the prevalence of government and corporate credits does not prevent the system from being completely liberated from monopoly. The system would allow both local circulations and global ones. Government spending redeemable in tax receipts would be a universal type of circulation within that government's jurisdiction, for governments at all levels, from national to local. However, membership in any other circulation would be like social media, a matter of voluntary choice. Therefore, for the most part, consumer demand, productivity, and trust will ultimately dictate who gets to create money and how much they are allowed to create.